Hello, this is Travis. In this video, I want to talk about how to actually detoxify your body. So you hear a lot about people talking about how you need to detoxify, but really, how do you do it? Look, there's many approaches, there's many things that have at least some level of being effective, but at the same time, there are things that are more effective than others. There are certain practices you can take in terms of diet, and then there are certain lifestyle practices you can combine with that. And then when it comes to diet, it's, stop eating poison, start eating higher quality versions of things. But there's that whole grade of like upgrading. But really, when you're really sick and you want the fastest results, what is the kind of diet you want to do to really, remove all obstructions? It's nothing to do with upgrading little things you're addicted to appease your ego. It's just purely what needs to be done. And I think through all the years of research I've done on health, I think I've discovered some pretty good information now. There are many different opinions on this, but from what I've seen, Dr. Robert Morse really has his finger on the pulse when it comes to healing. And of course, there are a lot of others that are great, like Dr. Robert Kassar. He has his thing and his way of doing it, and it's awesome. And it does so much good. But I've been watching Dr. Robert Morse lately, and I'm really a fan of this. Here's just a very simple explanation of one of the most important systems in your body and how to cleanse it. It's called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system. It's very important. I guess before I get into the lymphatic system, I'll tell you what is necessary for healing in terms of what can you eat. Fruits and herbs. And then when it comes to the herbs, you can eat the herbs fresh. You can take capsules of dried herbs. You can take extracts. You can have tinctures. All these different things, the ways to get the herbs in the body. And these are excellent at cleansing the lymphatic system. Now, just for perspective, there are two major fluids in the body, blood and lymph. Blood makes up approximately 1/4 of the fluid, and the lymph takes up the other 3/4. And you hear doctors talking about blood all the time, and we do blood work, we do blood testing. Oh, you got high blood pressure or low blood pressure, but you never hear about lymphatic pressure, lymphatic anything really from a doctor. Mainstream medicine focuses too much on blood and not enough on lymph, which makes up the majority of the fluid that they're just ignoring. Highly toxic processed foods, beverages, drugs, environments, lifestyles are all hindering our natural detoxification organs and systems. They're all backed up and congested. You always hear them saying, oh, we don't need to detoxify because the kidneys and liver do that just fine. In a natural setting, yeah. Without being poisoned for generations, parents eating toxic foods and then making children, and then the generation of that making the kids with the toxic diet and lifestyle again. That's when we can naturally detoxify. When I say detoxify, I mean you stop inputting the things that are causing the problem. You start putting in things that are the antithesis to that. And then your body will figure it out, because the subconscious intelligence is so much more than our own intelligence consciously about this subject. The body knows what's up when you get out of the way. So yeah, because of the highly toxic processed foods, beverages, the drugs, the environment, all that, this is why we have backed up and congested lymph. Now, you can consider the lymphatic system the immune system or the waste removal system. So think about it. When waste gets backed up, what happens? Then bacteria and viruses and parasites arrive to consume that. I mean, they do just manifest, really. Like, they're these life forms that just are opportunistic. When the terrain and environment for their thriving occurs, they will be there to clean it up. And you can't blame the bacteria when their effect and the cause is the waste. That's just very important. This is why, you hear the term germ theory, right? It's not like the germs are a theory, but the theory that the germs are the root cause, when really there's often an environmental factor or a factor that preluded that bacteria or virus or other life form had the environment to thrive. So when waste stagnates, it causes dis-ease. This waste is the substrate in and on which bacteria, viruses, parasites, and other negative organisms thrive. Modern medicine focuses on the bacteria and killing that instead of the terrain or the waste on which it feeds. You need to get to the root. So take, for example, hypothetically, there is a toad, and you spray disinfectant on the toad. You killed the bacteria on the surface, but you didn't get rid of the reason why the bacteria are thriving. So you got to get to the root, so you clean it up. And it's the same with the human body, except people never think that. They think, oh, detoxification is bullshit. You clean your skin in the shower with a little bit of soap, which is like some poison, toxic product, most likely anyway, just clogging the lymph more. But you never clean below the surface. That's insane. We have not just waste from the foods we eat, but we have metabolic waste, and then we have more metabolic waste being produced when we're eating toxic foods, and all of our body energy going towards that. You know, building the body on top of a congestive lymph isn't healthy. You got to clean yourself out, and then once you've done that, then you can, you could lift some weights and do bodybuilding or do whatever you want after that. Really, you just got to cleanse yourself out. We've got so much toxicity in all of us because it is all backed up. Now, a video I do recommend by Dr. Robert Morse. I recommend you check it out after this video. He's helped so many people with so many conditions, varying severity from psoriasis to cancer to diabetes and much more. I urge you to check out the video, The Great Lymphatic System, and then I check out his video about detoxification in general. And then you can go to his channel. He has hundreds of videos that go for hours where he just answers questions from people. And most of the videos in the description have little descriptions of each person's message, and then it has a timestamp for that. You can just search his channel for whatever conditions you have, like no matter what. Just type it in his thing, check out what he has to say, and just take it into consideration. Because really, for me, he's just, like, when you understand the lymphatic system, it makes it a lot easier to understand health overall, and that's very empowering. So it's not just the bacteria, the virus, the fungus that we should worry about necessarily, but the terrain in which they thrive. I'm not saying ignore bacteria, virus, fungus, and the specifics of those and the conditions they create once they've established, but understand the root cause. It's very important. I'd like to add one more thing before I finish this video. That there is an annoying little trick to the body. When you stop doing anything bad and start improving your health, there is going to be a period in which you're going to be experiencing more pain and suffering. And how annoying is that? That it gets worse before it gets better. But that's the thing. You either start getting healthier now, experience that little withdrawal, and then come back to balance, or the pain which you would experience when chasing that will build up and build up and build up and manifest as a disease. And then you're going to have to face it then and there. But then doctors already have their little game plan there, instituted by the pharmaceutical companies, which fund and control education literally. Go to hospitals, go to vet clinics, look, and they'll say, proudly sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. Don't buy into the bullshit. See through their game. Realize they don't know shit about the body. You ask any doctor, well, okay, there are a few good doctors out there, okay, but the majority, they just doing their job, following those parameters. Talk to most doctors about herbs or diet or cause and effect, or causes of disease. They don't really know, or they'll say viruses instead of seeing that there's a deeper meaning. Deeper root. What is the terrain which viruses thrive? How do we change that terrain within the body? We cleanse the lymph. But that annoying thing I was saying, like you think of an alcoholic and then they stop drinking alcohol. They're gonna go through some pain, or a heroin addict, and they stop. Okay, it's not just with drugs. Okay, it's with everything. So you're addicted to. Okay, people think of coffee as not a drug. Well, guess what? It's a drug. Now you stop drinking coffee, and then you're gonna freak out. And then, especially if you're drinking multiple coffees a day, you're gonna freak out. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna have headaches. You probably feel nauseous. You won't be able to digest food for a while properly. It's all these things. You're like, ugh, why would I even bother doing that? Because maybe you need to. Because maybe the coffee is taxing your kidneys and your adrenals, and the kidneys are what cleanse the lymphatic system, and when they're backed up, you're screwed. Yeah. Okay, so it's all connected, but you see how you want to check out this Dr. Robert Morse stuff. But like I'm saying, it's not just with the drugs when you quit them that you get the pain and the withdrawals, but with everything. You stop cooked foods and go to a raw fruitarian diet with herbs for a proper cleanse, you're going to go through the withdrawals like crazy of everything. You have no idea until you do it. But the thing is, you have no idea how big that pain could get if you didn't chase it now. Like you chase it down and you beat it on your own terms right now, or it will find you and it will get you and it will suck and it will be the longest, most arduous journey you've ever had to make. More so than if you chase it now. Chase it now is an empowering thing. So you get pains and aches in like specific areas, and like you probably notice that those are weaker areas in your body already. When you do a fruit cleanse, you'll get muscle pain. It's the same thing. Anyone that's exercised and then like if you drank alcohol afterwards, you'd notice it actually would cause muscle pain in that area, sort of thing. And you know, that's because a lot of lactic acid being built up during the exercise, and there's little tears and stuff, and the lymph cleans up that, but those are the weaker areas. So you do a cleanse, and then those weaker areas are going to hurt. Like I had my shoulder hurt a bit when I was doing a fruit cleanse, and you know, when you don't know what that is, that's annoying. But you just realize that the medical system, intentionally or not, probably intentionally at higher levels, unintentionally with just the doctors and that, will look at a symptom of pain and then try and suppress that without recognizing that that is a long time coming because of a failure to actually reach equilibrium through detoxification, naturally through working organs. The organs aren't working properly, and we're not eliminating, and it's backing up and stagnating, and that's a substrate for viruses and bacteria. So if you got anything, first you need to address the root cause. Stop inputting the bad, address the bad, reduce that, start doing what is good, start doing something a lot more logical. Anyway, I had to just add that little thing at the end, because when you start detoxing, it's not going to be pretty. But what comes out the other side will be. Because you're going to just have a complete shift in consciousness. You're going to not just physically be healthier and feeling better, the output is going to be better, because when you're eating toxic foods, your body is constantly holding it back, like, whoa, 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 let's just manage that, whoa, whoa. And that's a lot of energy. You stop inputting the crap, right? Then your body's putting the energy towards getting rid of the crap that it held back. Once it does that, the amount of energy skyrockets. That's what you want to get to. You get to that point, and then you manage it so you're within that point always. Doesn't mean you always eat perfectly healthy, but for the most part you do, and you keep on top of it. And you become aware of the symptoms of when you're losing sight of that and losing grip on that. So check out Dr. Robert Morse. Check out his talks about the lymphatic system and detoxification, and then go to his channel and look up any conditions you have and search it for that. Or anyone that you know with disease, look it up and help people. Because we've got to help people, because once they cleanse, you see, the energy isn't just, once you stop getting poisoned, the energy isn't just for your health, but mentally you can view the world in a much broader way, because you're not so, pain really keeps you in like focusing on yourself, and you're like, oh, it hurts, oh, it hurts, and you're not paying attention fully. So it's going to widen your worldview once you get healthier. And once you have standards for that, that kind of like logic and standard will make you have higher standards in the world in terms of freedom, is what I mean. It's not like you become this pretentious as fuck person, but yeah, just higher standards in terms of freedom, because everything stems from people on this society that is causing suffering for us is human caused. We worked outside of natural law in every way, in terms of consequences to actions in consciousness, for the morality side, in terms of natural laws of our body and how they cleanse and what stops the cleansing. Just in so many ways, in terms of how we grow food and everything.